goodness, welcome everybody to Queens of the Roundtable, your newest and probably most favorite Dungeons & Dragons podcast video series that you're going to be hooked on like phonics, all right? My name is Dr. Zackarina Jenny-hoe. I am not a real doctor. Legally, I do have to say that. Wah, wah. I know. But I am your host and guide here on this journey that we're going to be going through, and your Dungeon Master. We are so excited. This is the first time that we are ever doing Queens of the Roundtable. It is brand new, our first ever season. Snaps, round of applause, all the things. Make sure that you are following Roundtable Drag on social media. That's where we're going to be posting clips, all of our videos, all those good things. You can catch this podcast both in an audio version on all of your favorite streaming platforms and video version as well on YouTube. So we have so many people to thank. First and foremost, we have a couple of sponsors that you're going to be hearing about all season long. We have Wana, we have Ritual Colorado, and we have the Pad Silverthorn that have helped make today possible and our entire season. Snaps to them, yes. And we are so excited to be here today with Dude IDK Studios, recording, filming, and helping us do all of this beautiful production. So make sure that you're following Dude IDK Studios so you can check out all of their podcasts, videos, and events that they do here in Denver. Speaking of Denver, we are local queens, and it is your favorite local queens. Say hi, adventuring party.
Hi.
Party. I'm so excited to introduce our entire cast for this season of Queens of the Roundtable. First and foremost, we have Petty Patty.
Hi, hello, how are you?
And we have Nini Coco.
Hello. You can't spell my name without icon.
Ooh, tagline.
Get it together, girl.
And we have Banana Splits.
Hi, I am the Boom Boom Hong Kong.
And our final adventurer is Raquelle Schelle.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
So, we are going to get right into our campaign. Our first ever season of Queens of the Roundtable, we are calling Sort of Women, because we're sort of adventurers and sort of women. If you don't get it, I promise you'll get it very
It took
soon.
me a long time to get that one on.
You know, I'm hoping that by us saying this right now, the bit lands.
Hooked
Love
on
it.
X.
So, baby, hooked on everything. But without further ado, let's get the story started. Our story begins beautifully set on the coast of the Forgotten Realm, where jagged cliffs tear into the sea, and defiant against the elements, a city rises, beautifully known as the city of Eldoria. It's known throughout the Forgotten Realms of the City of Light. It's the place where people go running from something or running to something. From a distance, Eldoria shimmers in the light of a rising sun. Its alabaster walls are crowned with beautiful golden accents. The winding road leading up to it is alive with the chatter of merchants and beautiful people coming to explore the city. Lots of beautiful people. Within Eldoria's mighty embrace, the streets stretch like veins pulsing with life and purpose. Beneath cotton candy skies, it is alive with cobblestone pathways that are worn smooth from countless footsteps. The Sunspire Citadel dominates the skyline. This right here.
Sunspire Citadel.
Sunspire
You gotta write that
Citadel.
down. How do you spell that? S-U-N. Spire Citadel.
It dominates the skyline, its gleaming towers piercing the heavens like ivory swords. It is the seat of the Ivory Court, where marble ruins or marble columns rise in perfect symmetry. It's got echoes throughout its halls, gold and white banners with the regal phoenix crests that flutter above the entire city. But not all that sparkles in Eldoria sparkles with splendor. Beyond the Sunspire's radiance, past the artisan districts, past all the bustling grand areas and markets, the city starts to darken. Narrow alleys twist like serpents, leading buildings of cracked timber, sagging stone, and dark alleyways.
Sagging stone.
My sagging stone. But to tell you,
Sagging
they sort of a woman is hard.
Welcome to stage.
Sagging Stones is a local queen. Here the glow of lanterns hold back the encroaching darkness. Beggars with hollow eyes clutch at empty bowls. Drunkards sprawl against walls and through the streets, laughter just echoing through everything. In these labyrinth streets, the Obsidian Syndicate makes its lair, a name spoken in whispers and half-truths. No crest marks their dominion, but their symbol coils in the hearts of men like serpents unseen, and their influence moves like smoke, seeping through the cracks of Eldoria. The city teeters on knife's edge with tension. It crackles through the court and the syndicate encircle each other like predators locked in a deadly dance. Guards patrol heavily in their boots and heavier gazes and heavier bodies. Every petty crime is met with swift retribution, but the true rot remains hidden beneath the surface. Tourists and traders walk through the main streets blissfully unaware of everything that's about to boil over. But our story does not begin where the light falls or the banners wave. It actually does not begin in the city of Eldoria at all. Our story begins 1 week ago beneath the surface to the north of Eldoria. Far beneath all the glittering city spires of Eldoria, the sunlight has never danced upon the underground network where there are a kingdom of orc-like folk who are pickaxing away with skin as pale as moonlight, bleached by generations without sun. Their eyes gleam with a sharp precision, and their hands are callous after so much work. People are bound by power, precision, broad shoulders, with hands that have seen so much toil, with a rhythm to them as well. The air is thick with ore and earth. But in a world bound by rhythm and tradition, there are some that move to a different beat. In a hidden alcove, far away from the communal hum of all of the industry, a small, unremarkable cave with an even smaller, unremarkable person.
That's crazy. She clocks you.
There alone sits a figure who does not fit the mold of their kin. Smaller, slighter, and a soul that hums altogether a different tune. It's here where our story begins. Banana, will you please describe your character?
Okay, that was so fierce. Okay, so my name is Blisster Snorbag, but you can call me Bliss.
Hi, Bliss.
Hi.
Wait a minute.
So I am a half-orc bard. I am kind of like overlooked in my world. People just don't really pay a lot of attention to me. I think it's because I like grew up as a runt of the litter. So because I'm so like slender and weak, they didn't want to like give me a pickaxe and make me mine. Instead, they were like, we're going to send that diva deep into the mines, deep into the earth. And she's going to basically be like our canary in the coal mine. So if she dies, like who really cares? So very overlooked. People do not care about me, but deep in the earth, I still had to like find a way to have fun. So that's why I'm a bard, because like I'm humming my own tune and I'm like putting on productions and having a good old time.
Fierce.
Period. Amazing. Well, Banana, what is Bliss doing in their cave right now all alone?
I think I am probably working with the rats. I like to talk to animals when I'm down in the caves. They're like my only friendship. So I am going to be like chatting with my rats.
Okay, and what are you chatting with your rats about?
We are putting on a production of Hamlet. So we are kind of getting everything set up for opening night. Nobody's coming, but it will be pretty fierce and we will have production value.
Closed door opening night.
Amazing. A small intimate audience.
Yes. Of also rats. Rat are audience and rats are in the production.
Amazing. In this cave, there is somehow so much life and movement because you have rats who are rehearsing their lives with each other, but they're all just squeaks. So just and then taking the death moments. You have other rats dressed in all black as your tech crew helping perform with lights. And you do have a couple of rats who are ready to become patrons whenever the time is right to prepare. I'm going to have you roll for a performance, our first roll of the game, to see how you're doing right now with prepping and performing.
So it's my D20.
It's your D20. Okay. You're going to add your performance modifier.
Okay, so I rolled a 7, but I add +9 to performance, so that is a 16.
Amazing. So you are commanding the stage. You are calling the shots, directing one after another, truly putting on a performance that would rival that of those in grand cities and travelers and bards of all the great names, but you're stuck in this mine. While you are preparing, is there anything that you are doing or thinking as you're kind of alone?
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm the director of this production, so I've been thinking a lot about like the logistics of putting it on, but at the same time, I am also the lead. I will be playing most of the parts. I have a rat understudy and a rat love interest, but I play every other part.
Right. The Leah Michelle of orcs, really.
The Leah Michelle of orcs, for sure. So I am kind of just thinking about like, wow, I'm putting in all of this effort for this and I'm really having fun and I'm enjoying my time with the rats. But at the same time, it does kind of feel like it's for naught. Like nobody gets to see all of this effort. And that does, I think, make me a little bit sad. But at the same time, I'm happy that I'm here with the rats. They've always treated me well.
Oh,
I love it. As you're working away and working through kind of the chaos and the sound and the bustle of what's going on, you do hear that all of the hum and the low bass that you hear from everybody else in your orc kingdom mining kind of start to halt. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Yes, is that the D20 also?
It is.
Okay. Perception, I add +3 to 13, so that's 16 again.
So not only do you hear this pause, but you also hear an elevator shaft start taking some of the other people up from the lower levels of these mines into kind of the upper common levels, which you recognize is everyone breaking for lunch and forgetting you. So now you are forgotten down here in the mines again.
I pull out the sandwich I always pack because they always do this. I start breaking off little pieces and giving it to the rats. And we break for our own lunch. I call let's see. And we break for our own lunch. Thank you, bye.
You respect union rules. You do make sure that everything is super quiet for your face. While you guys are breaking for lunch, you start to hear footsteps approach in your kind of area of the cave systems. It doesn't have that really deep, heavy bass that you would hear from every other regular-sized half-orc. These steps are light, erratic, and have a cadence, though, that you recognize. You turn around and you see a half-orc with very similar energy to you. Small, frail, and out of place. And it's your childhood friend, Mill, short for Mildew.
Love. Okay.
So he goes, hey, Blisster, how are you doing?
Oh my god. Hey, Mildew. What's up? What's up, dude?
Nothing much, just they left us for lunch again.
Classic them.
I know, right? But honestly, it's better this way so that we can just keep hanging out, you know?
And I will say I love hanging out with you. Did you bring a sandwich this time?
No, I think I forgot again.
I got it. And I do rip half of my sandwich and give it to him. So at this point, I do have a small sliver.
Because the rats are all.
The rats are my half, basically, and right now, and Mildew is the other half.
He starts to take it, and he immediately recognizes that you have very little, but he also has nothing to eat, so he kind of just, thanks. He starts to look around and seeing all of the production set up, and it's like, oh my gosh, when's opening night? It's tonight! Oh my gosh. And he kind of looks super excited, and he's like, you see excitement, but also a change in his face where he just stepped back and he's like, I'm so excited to watch, but I've just been thinking recently, you put on all these amazing productions, but it's only me watching. And I love it. But what if you got onto the real stage and other people could love it?
You know, and so I think Bliss takes a step back in this moment and she's thinking, A, I love this friend, but B, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm scared and I'm apprehensive. I've only ever been down here. So I'm kind of trying to weigh, do I trust this person that seems like they have my best interests at heart and they think they see something in me, or do I stay in the safety? So I just go, I don't know, Mildew. It's just easier sometimes, you know? It's easier being with the rats. It's easier not having to deal with people.
Yeah. He kind of like kicks at the ground. He's like, yeah, I get that. I'm working on my type 5 to become a big comedian one day.
I'll go.
Really?
I'll go.
His face lights up. For somebody that is incredibly pale, you see a little bit of his cheeks start to rose and blushing. And he looks at you and he's like, well, I wanted to get you a present. And I was going to wait till after the show, but I think I want to give it to you now. He reaches into his pocket and pulls, he kind of takes a step back. He's, I meant this. And he pulls out and kind of pushes towards you a letter, hitting your face, stopping kind of any type of lean in that you were just doing there. And gives you a envelope that has a ticket to the city of Eldoria. And he's like, I wanted to wait, but you need to go. You need to be on the stage. People need to see you.
I like start crying.
Oh.
I start crying because this is so nice, and I don't even know how he got the money for this. This is so expensive, and so I just like I wrap Mildew up in a big hug and I say thank you.
Oh, he feels that warm embrace, but he's so awkward that he does not know how to react. So he kind of just, yay, and then like kind of disengages from the hug and goes, I have also one more thing. Because you're going to become a super big star, you need to have star equipment. And he reaches into his other pocket to pull out a beautiful microphone. That he has been spending time in the caves finding all of these gems and jewels.
We have
for
electricity.
It didn't say I couldn't sing.
It's fully stoned. There's no actual mechanics that can come out of it, but it is a microphone shape, and you know he's
It's like those echo ones you got as a kid where
It's a stick and a rock.
but just interested in jewels.
fully rhinestone to the gods. He gives that to you, and he's like, just don't forget all of us when you become a really big star.
I could never forget you, Mildew.
In that moment, too, all of the rats who have just finished eating the rest of your lunch kind of gather around and are circling around you, very theater kid style, when like the senior send off is happening. Like they are hands held.
Huddled.
They are crying like somebody died right now. And one approaches you and gives you this beautiful kind of irregular gem. You are somebody that spends so much time in the caves. You've seen lots of gems. Your kingdom doesn't really appreciate the flauntiness of shiny. They're just here to get ore, to get the minerals and do their job. But they hand you this fuchsia gem that has this vibrational energy to it. And they kind of give it to you. And it's your understudy, and the rat kind of.
And I take the gem and I go, thank you, Shrivel. That's her name. Her name is Shrivel. She's my rat understudy. And I go, thank you, Shrivel. This means a lot to me. And I will say, you're on tonight, babes.
She's getting her moment.
This is your moment. Have it.
Imagine the scene of high school when the cast list goes out. You have the one girl that gets the lead and she starts crying in the hallway. That's the energy that the energy is having. She's crying. Everybody is also crying. You have people celebrating her. You have people celebrating you in the journey that you're about to go on. And it's just a celebration. So in this moment, you kind of not connected with the rest of the people in your kingdom and your family, but you are having this, some might say, chosen family.
Okay.
We as half-orcs get to choose our family.
We get to choose our other half, and my other half is rat.
And so what are you feeling in this moment?
So I'm obviously feeling excited about this new adventure I'm going to go on. I'm feeling excited for Shrivel that she gets her big break. But at the same time, I'm curious about this stone that I've been given. It has a vibration to it, and I don't really know what that means. I've never seen something like that before. So should I roll something?
Yeah.
Should I roll a little insight?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
Okay. I'm going to roll an insight check just to see if I get any whatevers. Okay, so so it's insight is +3, so it's a 12.
Okay, so with this, you can recognize this isn't like the normal gems that you would find. It's not the stones that are on your makeshift microphone that Mill has just given you. This has some type of magical energy to it, which makes you first question, why do these rats have it? And second off, makes you question, why is this being given to me now? You can recognize that there is this vibration is translating to an energy, but you're not sure what that means.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy. Lots to unpack.
Anything else that you do before you start to head out over to the city of Eldoria?
I think I just go over and I give everybody a really firm embrace, one by one, each rat, and then I just say, break a leg, and I walk out the cave.
Beautiful. As Blisster starts to head out of the cave, there's this air of celebration, cheering. It's disturbance in the base that exists normally in this kingdom. And with a microphone, a ticket to Eldoria, and some unknown gem, Blisster makes her way to the big city.
Here he is.
Sunscreen.
I know. I'm scared I'm gonna get sunburned.
I was waiting for Blister to start singing, I got a golden ticket out of that cave.
Blister gotta get a blister with that sun.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna get a cream real quick.
On her way out, grab
Stuff the orc store. Yeah. Orc Mart.
7-Eleven, but for orcs, yes. We shift our story from the underground north of Eldoria to the far south, past rolling hills and forgotten crossroads, lies a place where time has scorched both stone and memory. This is the city of Spire, which once was a beacon of ingenuity, a metropolis where fire and brilliance flowed as one, where towering spires of black volcanic rock stood against the sky. But now, ruin reigns where greatness once thrived in the past, with few survivors sharing the tales of natural disaster wiping out the city. Yet amid all of the ruin, a small, stubborn community remains. Within that, there's a house that hums with relentless purpose. The walls shudder with the clang of hammers striking anvils, and a workshop that never sleeps. Blueprints cover every surface. Some have finished, others singed at the edges. Tools of curious and strange design hang on the walls. Cogs, springs, you name it, it's there in this workshop. And there, in the heart of all of the chaos, lies a figure who works tirelessly, scales shimmering like molten metal under the flickering forge light, with unique blue specks and eyes burning with the same fire that once powered a civilization. Nini, will you please describe your character?
I would love to. So, my name is Pyra. I have been raised in this city of ruin for as long as I can remember. So much of the city is covered in volcanic rock, and there's only a few remaining beautiful constructed volcanic spires that, rise up into the sky. I live with my mentor, Ignis. He found me when I was a young egg and pre-hatch. And I've always known he wasn't my father, but he's always kind of raised me as his own, and mentored me and taught me everything he knows about tinkering and crafting and building and creating. I also look fierce. I am red, shiny, kind of this lava-esque glow about me. I also have these beautiful blue little specks all over my face, which none of my other little ruinous friends who live here in this town really have. Like, I'm very special in that case, for many reasons, one of them being my blue specks. But yeah, I love to tinker, I love to discover, I love to kind of help the people around me in the town. We've had to scavenge what we can find to live here in this aged city. I also have all these cute, cunty little piercings where like tools hang off. So if I ever need a wrench, I just get into her, plug it back on.
Is it wrench sized or is it tiny?
Oh no, it's wrench size, just full angle. Yeah,
The Swiss Army knife of drag.
like power drills just come out. Oh my god. No, they're all non-power tools, but they're very, very shimmery, shiny, cunty.
Wow. And what is Pyra working on right now in her workshop?
My mentor Ignis has always told me about creating like a little sidekick, like a little defender that I could always have with me. So I'm over here tinkering away. I've thought about it for a long time, but I'm trying to build this little mechanical sidekick to have along with me, just to like help me in all my discovery and exploring.
What's kind of the vibe that you're trying to get out of your sidekick?
My sidekick is very like super long neck, eyes on the side of its head, 360 vision.
Oh,
But it's like
360.
360. I haven't heard of that artist yet, but she's coming soon.
She hasn't hit the city of Spire yet.
Yeah, Aspired is a little late to the pop music. 360 vision, long neck, stubby little body, but it kind of leads with its head. So as it's walking, it's like, maybe. But lots of little metal clanking, tinkering. But it's little. He's little.
Cute.
I'll have to figure out. I haven't fully formed him yet. He's still in process.
A work in progress.
Yeah.
Well, as you're working away, you start to hear the creak of a cane that you immediately recognize as the arrival of Ignis into your kind of workshop area, and you hear him say, "How's it coming, Pyra?"
Oh, it's good, Ignis. Everything's going well. Everything's going smoothly. I found some new metals to build into him, so all's good.
He looks at you with this love and admiration that like a father would have for their child, but knowing kind of your relationship and knowing that you don't really talk about like, oh, dad, mom, love, stuff like that. He kind of just looks at you and smirks and says, "Make sure you take a break before you," nudges you, "burn out." And he is proud of himself for that joke right now.
He's when I give a sympathy laugh, and I'm like, "That's so funny, Ignis."
I love it. So as you continue just hammering away in the workshop, you start to hear a faint and unexpected sound that hits your ears. It's the steady tolling of your courtyard bell, which means that it's an unfamiliar sound, but meaning somebody is coming into your courtyard to come up to your house.
Yes.
Many people are not really coming out to each other's houses at Spire. Everyone kind of stays pulled in, which it's a little unheard of to have visitors. Ignis pauses, his ears slightly twitching, and he strides over to the small window outlooking the courtyard, his cane tapping sharply against the stone floor, and he goes, "Visitors." And he peers out, and you start to see his face kind of change as he steps back. He turns abruptly to you, his calmness in his face replaced by urgency, and he says, "Pyra, I need you to get into the closet now."
Why? What's going on?
I can't explain it. Just get into the closet now.
Okay. I trust you. I'll go.
Okay. So, do you want to do an insight check on him?
I would love to. I think that's a great idea.
He's forcing her back in the closet right there.
Girl, I got that years ago. 15.
That's necessary. Oh, -1, 14. Not so fair. Not so fair.
So he's obviously sounding really nervous, and you recognize that the urgency is super clear, and you pick up that there's this anxiety, but you can't tell if it's an anxiety about you or about these visitors. So he steps closer to you. He says, "You have to trust me, Pyra. Please go."
Okay. Whatever you say, I'll go.
Okay, you step into the closet. I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check for me to make sure that see if you're quiet or if you're loud in this closet. You're a bigger girl.
So her ear is out. That's the little thing, right? Oh yes. Okay. Here we go.
I'm not very stealthy.
That's crazy.
She's a big girl, but she's got dainty steps. her earring jiggles.
Yeah. She's literally going like this and not a sound.
I love it. You with that nat 20, first nat 20 of the game. Nat 20. I'm not bringing nat 20 out unless I see $10 in the air. Going into the closet, by living here for so long, you know the aches and creaks of this house to a T. So you know exactly where to stand, how to move, to be able to get into that closet, swiftly moving over tools and all the clutter, and you remain hidden as people enter into the house.
Am I peeking through?
You are peeking through for sure. Because it's a little mixed match. It's not perfectly made because you all put all your stuff together, a little hodgepodge, a little MacGyver moment. And so when you look out, you see these three imposing figures stride in, kind of like they own the place. They have golden and white armor that gleams in the dim light of the workshop. A phoenix insignia is signed on their chest plates and marks them as guards from a realm where you've not ever recognized. The tallest one speaks first and says, "Ignis, the time has come. You've avoided your end of the bargain for far too long." Ignis responds, "It's not ready. I'm not ready. There's still more work to be done." The guard continues to have no expression on his face. This isn't a negotiation. Eldoria has threats brewing in the city, threats that require your expertise. We need a solution like you created here. Your machines are our answer. Hearing this exchange, you don't know what they're talking about. You've always grown up in your life that, City of Spire had this huge natural disaster that Ignis found you, helped, put you and raise you up because your parents had died in this natural disaster. So you don't know what's going on. What do you do in this mode? Do you stay in this closet? Do you come out of the closet?
So
Only if it's safe.
experiencing the closet. I'm kind of freaking out because one, we've never had these visitors. We don't get visitors often. We only are with our dragonborn folk in town. So these people, yeah, what do they look like? Are they?
It's 3 tall, very strong, covered in this armor that's gold and ivory. They are very obviously guards from a different city kingdom that you've never been to.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little worried, but I have no reason to question Ignis. Like, he's always been true to me. He's always led me down the right path. If he's told me to go and hide, I think I'm going to stick around for a moment more just to see if there's anything going on. But I am confused by what he's saying about your expertise is needed. You've done this before. None of that is clicking to me. Besides, he's just a tinkerer. Like he's just one of us tinkerers.
Right. So you stay hidden in the closet, continuing to peer out. As the guards step closer, in very low and menacing tones, say, "You're coming with us, Ignis, by choice or by force." As the guards begin to kind of grab him, he and his old man kind of suaveness is like, I've got it. And as he's kind of getting his stuff together, he accidentally drops a coin and it rolls out towards the closet and slips through a little crack. He says, "You know me, just every tool I made has a purpose." The guards shove him out the door, and there's a quiet in your workshop. But inside the closet, that coin has just hit your foot.
What the heck? Okay, now I'm like, what the? I grab my coin. Just one?
Just one.
That's all you leave me with? What? No, I pick up the coin. We don't really have much use for money here. So, okay, I'm going to hold on to her. And then I want to run. I don't want to get out of here. I want to go see what's going on.
Okay. When you come back out into the room, there's a little bit of evidence of like people kind of being escorted out, but there's no sign, because you obviously just watch it, no sign of like forcing. As you come out into the area, you see them turning the corner on the courtyard, walking away towards kind of their horse and buggy, ready to take him to what you can assume is Eldoria, because you heard these guards talking about it.
Yes. Okay. I feel like I need to figure out why he's being taken away. I want to follow him.
Okay. So as you walk out of the house, I'm going to have you roll an investigation check. Or sorry, perception check.
Perception. Big money.
19!
Where's perception? Deception has got the good roll.
Where we got here?
-1.
21. No.
As you walk out the door and you immediately see, this horse and buggy. He's being loaded up. He's not, though, in the back of the buggy where you would put a prisoner. He's kind of in the front where you would invite in somebody that somebody that is a part of your team.
Not by force, per se. They're not dragging him away.
No, and it's not that he has done something wrong. You can tell they're treating him with a level of respect that is confusing. So as you kind of head out the door, you're a little bit too late. So then you already see their kind of horse and carriage pull off. But looking at that coin and with that 21, you start to recognize that the engravings on it match some of the engravings on the porch outside. As you start to go across the porch, you find what looks like a perfectly sized coin slot. Do you put the coin into the slot?
100% I put it in the slot. Flip it in.
He's a big old slot.
You put that coin into the slot, and you start to hear cogs turning and shifting, remembering that Ignis said as he dropped the coin, everything he has a purpose. Everything he's made has a purpose. You start to hear and see the wall shift, and this hidden door on the porch reveals this cubby. Inside, you find one of Ignis's notebooks that you've always seen him with. It has beautiful blueprints and drawings. It's littered with so many things. As well, you find some notes that have Ignis's handwriting. Do you read those notes and letters?
Yes.
So when you read it, you open a letter that says to Pyra. You unfold it, and it reads, Pyra, I am sorry. I knew this day would come, but I was never sure when. You have to believe me when I say everything I'm doing is for your own safety. What do you make of this right now?
Well, clearly, he put on this big hullabaloo. He knew this day would come. He planned this whole little intricate reveal, the big reveal. But I'm shocked because he's never said anything about this. He's never said he would have to go. He's so old. Like, I didn't think he could even do anything. He's always, yeah. He can barely walk sometimes. No, I'm gagged.
Do you start to make your way over and follow that horse and buggy towards the city of Eldoria?
His note was apologetic, but I want answers. He's not telling me enough. He just said this day would come. I need more information. I'm grabbing these notes. I'm grabbing everything that's in this little cubby. I'm appreciating the design. It was very well done. I'm going to take note of that. I snatch my little companion that I'm building and I chase him down. I hit the road, Jack. Not too obvious though. I'm gonna be careful. This seems I shouldn't be seen.
So we've already established that you're not gonna make any noise, so you're fine.
I could scream and nobody hear.
So you grab all of these things, this cubby full of stuff that you've just kind of stumbled upon, that letter, this notebook, you grab your companion and you hit the road, following behind this horse and buggy, but not too close to be spotted, just enough to be able to stay unnoticed. And you make your way all the way back to the city of Eldoria. But we start to shift to a new scene. Not far from the bustling city of Eldoria, beyond the walls of civilization and the heartbeat of this city, in the serene countryside, there are rolling hills that just are beautiful. The sky is just endless. This is no ordinary area. It's a haven for the privileged, a sanctuary for the noble, and those who command wealth and influence. Looking onto these hillsides, we see one specific manor. And when I say manor, it is a mansion. There are hedges that are trimmed into cool shapes. There's a huge, driveway leading up to it. Gates, meanwhile, there's nobody around, right? Like, it is a mansion. It is opulent. It's alive. It's alive. Dave, it's real opulent. That's advantage on opulence checks from now on. As we kind of dive closer into this manor, we see that there's a carriage that's leading up to the house. It is alive. There are voices from within, and within the house, there's a bustle of servants getting ready for the arrival of the tenants of this manor. Amid all of this kind of clamor, the patriarch, the man of this family, stands strong with, postures rigid as his principles, and surveys his entire land. He kind of stands proud. He's like, yeah, I do own all of this, that kind of energy. And he kind of directs the entire family inside, directing all of the servants to bring all of their belongings in after just getting back from a trip. But not all share triumph in kind of this return to home. Upstairs in a room in the farthest end of a corridor sits the eldest daughter. Her room is immaculate, a sanctuary of stillness where order just reigns supreme. A writing desk, no clutter, holds only the essentials: ink, parchment, and the spell books in which she studies. She sits alone, draped in the golden light of a setting sun, her delicate features framed by the dark wood on an arched window. Patty, would you describe your character?
Oh my God, I would love to. So hi, hello, how are you? I am Sylvera Mintz. I was raised here in this countryside, obviously very wealthy, very gorgeous, very beautiful here. But I obviously don't look like everybody else. I am an elf, and everyone else here is these everyday rich humans. So growing up, it was a little difficult sometimes. I always get these little side eyes from people because I have this gorgeous brown skin, and all of them are white. And all these obviously these ears, and obviously sometimes this magic kind of gets out of control. There's a little moments when I was growing up where just little sparks will fly out and zap people a little bit, and so I have spent most of my time growing up reading, learning how to kind of control these spells a little better, but also just because in this area, knowledge is very powerful. So you just need to know the way around things here. So now here I am at my ripe age of undisclosed because the lady never reveals her age. But yeah, now I'm just kind of here in my room waiting for my family to get home.
Conceal, don't feel. Yeah.
I know, it's very frozen.
Sitting at your desk, you're flipping through, your spell book. You've got little trinkets sitting next to you. And as you're sitting there, your room feels really just unusually still, right? Despite all of the chaos that's going on in the house, it's kind of unsettling. Everyone's coming back from their trip. What are you working on right now?
Currently, I'm doing what I usually do when I'm here at my home alone. I'm going through my books, trying to figure out, how to control this power that I have. Because again, I'm tired of shocking people. I'm tired of, just hitting them with stuff all the time. It's crazy. But also trying to figure out also not this magic aspect, but also the lineage of elves. Because it's just so strange that I am the only one here. Even my family is white people, white humans that I don't know. So it's just very strange. So I'm trying to learn, trying to educate myself like I always do.
Reading through all these books, not only trying to understand these powers that you have and how to control them, but also understanding your history, who you are, what made you this way, why you're here. As you're turning your page, something catches your attention. Faint, hurried steps outside your door. I'm going to have you roll a perception check.
Percept. So you percept.
I got a percept.
Just say talk.
Oh, I got a 16.
Okay.
But I have the 0 on perception, so it's just a 6. That's okay. That's
A 16, you recognize the familiar cadence of your father's footsteps. And you hear him start to, approach your door, knock on it, and you see your father, the patriarch of this house, Lord Edmund Mintz. He says, Sylvera, dinner in 10 minutes. I trust you'll be present and on time.
I stand up very quickly and yes, Father, of course. I would never be late. Of course not.
He kind of looks at you, not with a smile or a smirk, but kind of just nods, acknowledges you, and heads off. As you come down to dinner later, the dining room, it's grand, right? Again, rich, honey. It's this beautiful table with candlesticks. There's a feast on it. Lord Edmund, your dad, sits at the head of the table, flanked by your mother, his wife, Lady Rosalind, and then all 3 of your younger siblings, all 3 younger brothers. We've got Cedric, who's that beautiful teen, 16 age. We've got Walter, who's 14, and then we've got Nicholas, who's 12. Hate.
They all sound like they have British accents.
They had a late cut of Sylvera dinner. Yeah, it's pretty rich. It's very I asked for 1 gold nugget, not 2. Sylvera's seat is closer to the middle, kind of separate from your family. Your dad starts of, now that we're back. Your dad starts with, now that we're back, I trust that you'll put these magical distractions aside and focus on what really matters. Diplomacy, politics. That's where real power lies, not little tricks from spell books.
I sit there and kind of just have to compose myself a little bit and just take a little breath, take a little breather because I'm tired of this dude just on my ass all the time. But just to appease him and kind of keep the peace, yes, Father, of course, I'm trying to learn more and how the diplomacy works here and just to make you proud.
He sits back kind of in a fit of approval of winning, He's like, as I thought, nothing to say, that proves my point. As the tension starts to rise at this dinner table, Cedric, your oldest of the 3 younger brothers, he leans back in his chair and mutters just loud enough, careful, Sylvie. Don't want you to turn us all into toads just because Father's hurting your feelings. Mm-hmm. His words drip of mockery, and you notice Walter snickering beside him.
Better frog that bit.
This whole time, just sitting here, I'm always uncomfortable just because I know they're always going to say something just awful. So I've just kind of been underneath, just kind of doing that thing with my hands where I try to keep myself cool and just one at a time. But the more I hear the snickering, the laughter, and the comments, it starts to speed up. And I start to feel just this little spark in my fingers as I go faster and faster.
Oh, yeah.
As they just keep laughing.
They continue laughing. Walter's now started to chime in of, oh, who would be the toad? Who would be the frog? And now everybody is kind of snickering. All three of your younger brothers are joining. Your dad has started to laugh. Your mother isn't, but everybody at the table is kind of laughing and making a mockery of you. Does that electricity stay at that level?
No, as I've gotten faster, all of a sudden you just quite literally see the spark fly out of my hand and up into the air.
Whoa.
The spark goes up, hits the ceiling rafters. Pieces of it start to fall off, falling onto the table. One falls right into Cedric's bowl of soup, splashing all over top of him. He is kind of like recoiled in surprise. Nobody really knows how to react. And your mother just stands up, slams her damn hands down on that table and says, Sylvera, that's enough. Tension has fully paused here. She says, family will not behave like this at the dinner table. Everybody, 2 rooms now. That includes you, Sylvera.
And I get up, but it's like in a huff. I just push myself away from the table, get up, throw everything that's in front of me, and just storm off to my room.
Later that evening, your room is quiet again. Everybody's kind of left the dinner scene. All of the servants and house staff have kind of cleaned up from the house. You hear a soft knock at your door, and it's your mother, Lady Rosalind. She steps inside, closing it behind her, and she says, I know tonight wasn't easy. Your father doesn't see magic the way you do, the way I do too. That doesn't mean he doesn't care. She sits kind of on the side of your bed in that very like mom way, of like trying to come and talk to you. She says, I've always loved you, Sylvera, truly. Even if we aren't bound by blood, I have always thought of you as my daughter, my only daughter, keeping me sane here. When I found you that one day just wrapped with that beautiful red thread saying your name, Sylvera, I saw love in your eyes, and the ring around your neck, the amulet on your neck, you're just so small, so precious. She kind of just looks off. Do you say anything? Do you let her kind of keep going?
I'm just still so shook from the dinner and what happened because I don't ever want that to happen, obviously. I don't ever want to just let sparks fly and just hit people with that. So I kind of just sit there and just kind of listen to her to see what she has to say about the whole situation.
She says, I went to support you. Kind of the tears in her eyes, she shakes away. I went to support you. That's why I've made the decision that you should go to Eldoria. Learn about your magic. There are brilliant minds over in the Ivory Court that we have beautiful connections with that can teach you all about the sorcery of magic. They're amazing. And while you're there, she kind of takes her hand, learn about yourself. She holds face. Learn about yourself, your roots. I know that it's hard, but just promise me that you'll write every day. Please, a bird, a pigeon, send somebody, whatever you do, just write to me.
I kind of sit there just in shock and disbelief because I don't leave this room often because I don't want to go out there with all them just looking at me crazy. So I kind of sit there for a second and just kind of take in what she said and what she's doing. And I look up and I say, thank you, Mother. You know, this is what I need. This is what I've wanted all along, is to find out who I am and how to control what I have.
She hugs you with just the tightness of that bear mom hug. And she says, I love you. She makes her way up to the door, kind of remembering of her proper stature and the fact that she is, this wife of a very noble diplomat. She kind of composes herself. But as she leaves towards the door, she says, and let's not tell your father about this, shall we? She says, I'll have some people come and grab you in the middle of the night. Not that kind of way. She gasses herself. She's like, we'll get the carriage, we'll put the seat warmers on, like all of the things. But
No blindfolds.
yeah, no blindfolds. It's just, I love you. And she kind of walks out the door before you can really respond. But how is Sylvera feeling in this moment?
Of course, she's gooped and gagged. She's just shocked because obviously her and her mother have always had a great relationship. After she was found, it always seemed her mother was the one that truly wanted her there and always wanted to be by her side. So she's shocked that her mother is finally giving her this opportunity to go out into the world and be herself and find herself. So she's crying a little bit. She's like, "Ah." So she's excited but scared.
I love it. As the evening comes and Sylvera continues to prepare for her journey to learn more about magic, to learn more about herself, we shift to one final scene. This time, we're actually in present day. Rather than all of these being prior, we start back in the present. We shift actually into the city of Eldoria. The streets alive, flickering with lanterns hum. It's kind of dusk time. We're getting into the evening moment. The sun is setting, and beneath the twilight sky, tucked just beyond the roar of all of the kind of city dwellings, is the Three Fingers Inn. A modest inn.
That's crazy.
Had to throw in something. The Three Fingers Inn, a modest inn with weathered timbers, windows, a glow of amber light. Inside, there's a roast cooking. There's noise of a bard in the corner plucking a little mournful tune. There's our regular barkeep. There's a cloaked, shadowy figure in the corner. But one person enters the inn who does not look like anybody else. They stick out because they move with the fluid grace of the sea itself. Her very presence commands the room's entire energy and attention without even needing to demand it. A figure as a figure as beautiful as the depths that she comes from. Change that word. Raquelle, please describe your character.
So my character is Coralia Loch. She is a species of the Tritons, which is essentially like very merfolky, comes from the ocean. Okay.
Classic.
She comes from an underwater kingdom. I know, on brand, right? So she comes from the underwater kingdom where her father has a lot of influences and very powerful. However, she has a scale deficiency, and she is not like the other Tritons. She has skin that resembles pearls that glistens with these orange and red coral accents. She has this beautiful long flowing hair that both in the water and on land still flows and like moves around and flows. And it glistens like the sun on the ocean, right? Just very sparkly and gorgeous. She herself resembles like a lionfish, right? Like all the other Tritons have like these little small scales and like little fins coming off of her ears, but she's just very extravagant in how she presents herself, right? And so she is very intuitive. She is like a rogue, but she's not like a very serious rogue. She's more like a Robin Hood kind of character in terms of like she's very self-sufficient, and will do things that will benefit her. But like if like a kid's asking for some bread, like she'll throw a slice, right? Or if there's some rats who need some.
We have a sandwich down in the line.
A sandwich deficiency.
Sandwich deficiency. She's very like true neutral, but also will like lean towards like chaotic, just for like the plot of things, right?
Right.
To like spice it up, you know. Very intuitive about people because she has a skill deficiency. She's always been treated differently with the people of her kingdom, of them either being like, "You are so gorgeous," and kind of just telling her things that she doesn't want to hear, like just treating her differently. You're so different. You're just gorgeous. You're really pretty. She's like really pretty. But she reads on to that. Like people are just being nice to me, not because they actually care about like my personality or who I was. They were just like all just like goo goo gaga over me, right? Such a hard life. Okay. Or people have been very jealous of her. Of like they've clocked the like she gets her way, and people just admire her because of her looks, and so there's very much like a jealousy aspect that comes with the people who encounter and meet Miss Coralia. And so she's very intuitive of people and like reading them are their true motives and like how they actually think about her. And so she's also very suspicious of people when they interact with her and want to have those engagements with her.
I love it. So as Coralia walks in, the inn kind of greets her. This is a regular inn that she's stayed at a couple of different times here in Eldoria. She's been here for about a week or so. The innkeeper, who is also the barkeep, we love a dual job, you recognize is Melra. Melra is this person who works here. She looks up from her work, offering you this knowing smile. It's this older woman. She is this beautiful little halfling, very old, very cute, very grandma energy. And you also spot, again, that kind of cloaked and like shadowy figure over in the corner of the bar and the bard plucking on their little harp. Is there anybody that you go up and talk to?
You know, today wasn't that dramatic. Like, I got like a couple of like errands done and everything like that. And so like I'm feeling very like frivolous. And so I see like the guy in like the dark cloak and he's giving me like weird vibes, right? And so I think I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm gonna approach him and see what he's up to.
So you approach this cloaked figure, and as you start to near him, the figure doesn't look up, but you see their posture stiffen a little bit. This low voice kind of greets you of something I can do for you, stranger. The voice is neutral, but you catch a subtle grip on kind of the mug as they're ready to like bolt. You can tell there's this energy of like he is uncomfy with you approaching him.
Whoa.
Girl.
Oh my god.
Hit him.
Cast kill.
So I like walk up to this man and I see that he stiffens up, that he's like kind of uncomfortable. And so I want to use like some of my beautiful charm to kind of like make him feel at ease. And so I walk up to him and I'm very flowy with my motions. I go, so I haven't seen you around here before. And you seem like your intentions are here a little suspicious. What are you doing at this little inn?
Roll persuasion check for him, Mary.
I'm scared.
You can do it, girl. Escalators.
9.
Deal.
Persuasion +3. So I am at 12.
Okay, that is not enough to de-freak out this guy. He, as you approach that and kind of hearing the like, it's a little like suspicious that you're here, like that kind of energy of asking why he's here. He immediately grabs his cup, doesn't even like leave anything, grabs his cup and bolts from the bar.
I had bubbles in my gills on my ass too.
So after kind of this man, just as he's running out, he's like, oh, these people meddling in my business. Like he's just talking to himself. Like he was not a happy camper. Is there anybody else that you want to talk to, or do you just want to go up to your room now?
I'm like, okay, that was kind of weird. Usually like my like flowy glistening hair like does the work for me, and so I'm like, whatever. Like I said, I got a couple errands done today, but it wasn't like a crazy busy day in terms of like roguing around kind of. And so you really did roguing right now. You're like, I'm so into roguing right now. And so I've been staying at this inn for some time now. You said like the last week, and so I go talk up to the bartender because she has been someone who I can like relate to. Sometimes I have a hard time connecting with people because, like I said, I'm very intuitive about people. Either they're just like so obsessed with me and like that like clouds their judgment on me, or they're just so jealous. But she sees me who I truly am.
This is not a character. It's no character.
And so I walk over to the bartender innkeep, and I'm like, okay, that was kind of weird, but hey, girl.
She, you approach Melra, and she sets her glass that she had just been polishing and sets it down, and she's like, it's always so good to see you. She saw the full exchange happen, and she kind of giggles to herself. She's like, you know, for somebody that looks beautiful, you have some trouble with the men sometimes. And she chuckles, knowing that, you know, you've been here for a while now. She knows a little bit about you. And so she asks, you know, how did it go? Anything exciting today?
And so I kind of just like put my hands down, and I'm like, no, nothing like really exciting today. I was like roguing a little bit out in the woods and everything like that. But nothing, I didn't get like any insight in terms of like some goals or ambitions that I'm looking towards right now.
She kind of picks up on you're not telling her all the things, but you've hinted out at different things throughout your time. So she kind of says, still keeping secrets to yourself. That's all right. I am rooting for you, though. You know, and so she pours you up a glass of ale and says, just a little nightcap for you. And you head up to your room. Now in your room, you've got this nice little glass of ale. Is there anything that you want to do? Do you like start to run a bath? Do you lay on your bed? What's kind of your vibe?
You know, it's been very humid in Eldoria, and so like I think I just want to get like the grease off my face. So I think I'm gonna like go over to the sink, and I think I'm gonna do like a little like the face wash, like exfoliate and like get like the dirt and the grime.
Starting to smell a little fishy.
Yeah, it's it. Yeah.
You say that. So you go over and kind of in the basin, you fill up the water for the sink. And as you're looking down into the water, you see a figure start to become reflected into the water. you immediately recognize this figure to be your father.
Oh.
And he telepathically through the water says, Coralia, my wandering daughter. His voice is calm but laced with frustration. How far do you think you can go before the tide pulls you back home?
Oh my God. Girl.
God, I was like washing my hands in the water, and I pulled back. I'm like, God, fucking damn it! I forgot this would happen, right? Like,
Dad, get out of my back.
I was like, I just lit the candles. Come on. And so I'm like, "Ugh, Dad, what do you want? I've had it wasn't a long day, but it was just enough to inconvenience me, and this is like really doing it in. Like, what do you want?
He says, you know your place. You know our agreement. And every time you touch the water, I just get closer to finding you. He pauses, and it's just a heavy silence. And he says, you can't outrun the sea.
Can I outswim it?
Period. I'm going to have you roll for... we're doing an intimidation check.
Ooh.
Kind of that like cunty little sly remark is you're trying to get your dad back.
Oh, bitch, my intimidation is +6, so
Get him together. Gather him.
It's a 1.
10
Plus.
the 6. Well, it's 4 + 6, so it's 10.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so in this moment, he kind of is taken aback, and he laughs a bit, and he just kind of goes, remember, you know, you owe your family more than this little rebellion. You can't escape your duty, all right? Like I said, you can't outrun the sea. And immediately his kind of face disappears through the water as this connection is broken. What are you thinking? What are you feeling in this moment? You had not spoken to your dad in a hot minute, so he has just reached out to you through this basin of water.
So I unplugged the drink, I go, boop, and I'm just frustrated because, like, I just wanted to, like, refresh my gills after a long day. This was such an inconvenience. It was like the nail and the hammer, right? Or hammer there. I always said the nail and the hammer. Hammer and the nail. I was like, no, you're right. You're right. So it's kind of like, oh, you just, like, the last nail and the hammer. Thank you. It hit the nail on the head. The nail and the hammer time. Hammerhead time. And so, like, I'm just frustrated because I really didn't want to talk to my dad. And it's very frustrating too because, like, again, touching the water, it feels very reminiscent of home, and I miss my home, and I'm very in touch with the water. But the fact that I'm trying to not have any contact with him, having to, like, touch the water was just, it's annoying. It's frustrating. And so unplug the water. I'm just having a moment to myself, and I sit on my bed, and I'm just like, what can I do? And I'm thinking to myself, like, what can I do to just, like, further get away from him and not have this contact with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you spend this time kind of refreshing yourself, giving yourself a moment of peace and tranquility and all of this chaos that's just ensued in even the last couple of minutes. And so after taking a moment to do your little self-care routine, clean yourself up, you know that when you start to feel at the end of the night this type of stress or this anxiety, there's one place that you love to go to get a drink, to hang out, and that's none other than the Trax Tavern, which is the biggest nightclub here at the city level. Check out hashtag sponsored. Just kidding. We get the nerds so funny. So you know that in this moment, you kind of just want to, you know, have your moment, go see some of the other people that you know. So you head out to the Trax Tavern, out into the city. It's the nightclub. It's the place to be. It's the hottest scene. Our story finally converges at this point in time. Present, modern day, in Eldoria. All 4 of our adventurers are here in the city. In the city.
If you say SETI, you don't gotta get ready.
And Trax Tavern is a beacon in Eldoria's just bustling lantern district. It's glowing, radiant. The spells around it make the lights become neon. It attracts all of the type of travelers. It's got loud music, and inside the room is alive. Most people in very little clothing, dancing, drinking together. In the side of the room, there's our bar side. It's a little bit quieter. There's some people at tables, people at the bar. Patrons are kind of just scattered everywhere. The dance floor is packed. with a half orc bouncer at the door. This is meant to be a safe space for people in Eldoria, for people of all walks of life. In the kind of moment that Coralia walks in, her reputation precedes her. She is known here. She is visited many times. As she sees the barkeep, Rogar. Rogar is a burly half-elf. Well, Rogar is a burly half-orc bartender with a scar tracing down his cheek, and he slaps a damp cloth over his shoulder and grins when he sees you. He's behind the bar making so many different mixed drinks, and he towers over the bar in a full leather outfit. Think leather muscle daddy vibes.
You said half elf or half orc?
Half orc.
Period.
Early half orc. He kind of looks at you and says, well, look who just sauntered in. Coralia Loch. You're like bad copper coin, always showing up when I least expect it. What's the mischief this time? He kind of leans in towards you.
You know, daddy problems. Like, what can I say? Like, it was
Is Rogar kind of daddy too?
very muscle and just like that.
You say daddy problem.
When you wink at him?
I go, daddy problems.
I'm going to have you roll a persuasion check.
Girl, this has not been going well.
You better hit it together.
You got this. You got
I'm
this.
gonna go down my tower because I was about like everyone not doing my tower. My tower was giving me a buck. Well, 9. Persuasion?
Yes.
+3, so I'm at 12. Girl.
He kind of smirks and smiles at you, and he offers you a free drink, and kind of just on the house
Come on, drink ticket.
as he gives you it. So you're chilling at the bar, chatting with Rogar, and the next person to step in is this great, larger-than-life dragonborn artificer who walks in to the room. And Pyra steps in, and a couple of people kind of turn their heads. Pyra, what do you say or do when you kind of get into this bar?
Well, first of all, I'm trying to be not super incognito, but I'm trying to be like, I don't really want my mentor Ignis to know that I'm following him. I don't want people to be tipped off that I'm coming. So I'm trying to just like, excuse me, like go up to the bar, just casually, just try to ignore the stares and grab a little quick drink.
I love it. As you approach the bar, Rogar looks at you, and he kind of has this look on his face of, "What? Welcome back? Wait, we met before, right?"
No, this is my, when did you see me last, I say?
I'm gonna have you roll a deception check.
You gotta do that driving thing. Hey, baby.
Oh my gosh, I miss CBB.
How do you spell your name again?
Yeah.
No, I meant last, idiot. I know you're.
Here we go. Deception? 15. Here. +1, 16.
So he looks at you and he kind of said, well, you work for our ale supplier, right? Helping bring in our drinks? No. The newest ale, right? All the alcohol, all those things. You're
Yes. I've been on vacation, so I kind of, I'm trying to get my mind back in it.
okay. He's like, well, we'll have a drink of it. And so he pours you an ale of this drink that you are now claiming as part of your own, that you are kind of the rep for, the brand rep. And he offers you a seat here at the bar to just kind of sip on your drink. As that's going on, a new person, a new bombshell, and just a new character enters into the bar, and it is the frail and weak Blisster. Her eyes light up as, looking to the left, there is a tiefling bard on stage with horns that are fully rhinestoned with glowing charm. The bard is about to go on stage and catches Blister's kind of gaze and looks at her and goes, another bard in the house. Care to share the spotlight? The crowd could use a fresh tune.
Yes. and I grab my microphone and I run up on stage with my tiefling bard, who I don't know what his name is.
So she invites you up onto the stage and brings you up, and she's like, "My name's Drianna." She goes, "I'm the house queen here. Entertainment director, if you will."
Oh my gosh, I'm doing a pop-up. It's nice to meet you, Driana. I'm Bliss.
She asked, well, what do you want to perform? What are we performing?
Do you know Lady Marmalade?
She like just kind of like scoffs a little bit and goes, hit it! And then starts to begin. First off, what's your performance style? There's two of you doing a 4-woman song.
Right.
So tell me the dynamics of what's about to happen.
So have you ever seen Victorious where Tori Vega dresses up like the ugly girl and starts the number and then throughout the number she's taking off bits and pieces so she's beautiful at the end? That's what it's kind of giving. I get up there and I start the hey sister soul sister. I start that. But then when I get into the first part, I'm kind of in one outfit. And for the second part, I do like a little quick change.
A reveal.
You came into tracks with a reveal.
I love a reveal. If you say right, you don't gotta get If you say steady, you don't gotta get steady.
She comes into tracks. You have a suitcase with you. Like,
Yes.
Your little bag just in case you get to the pop-up.
It's like Carrot Top with like the props, but it's like disguises that I'm like adding on wigs and.
I'm going to have you roll a performance check, but this is a fierce number the way that you have described it. So I'm going to let you roll with advantage.
Period. Okay.
Where was that with? That was crazy.
Okay. Okay, so I'll take the 11 because I got a 6 and an 11. Performance, nice. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, with a dirty 20, you're performing on stage, and Driana kind of shifts to the side because she's like, this is her moment. I need to let her have on it. So you are on stage solo, spotlight hitting you, crowd goes crazy. There are roars of applause. After you conclude kind of your song, she comes up to you and she's like, you've got something, kid. Follow me. She kind of leans in closer. She says, we get free drink tickets. and she brings you over to the bar. Is there anything that you want to say to her after this kind of whole encounter of you and Driana?
I just want to go, Driana, thank you for this opportunity. I've been looking for something like this for a very long time, and you're very beautiful, and I want to be like you every day of my life.
She kind of, the little like wisps of hair that you have, she kind of puts them out the way and is like, you're gorgeous, sweetie. Come on. And brings you over to the bar. And our last person to enter the bar is someone who sticks out like a sore thumb because she is in a regal attire. She has fine clothing and kind of stands out amongst this really rowdy crowd, right? And a lot of people are wearing very little. I mean, Rogar at the bar is wearing like a leather daddy suit. So like fine robes and silks don't really not belong in tracks. You just don't see it that often. So when Sylvera walks in, immediately there's this drunk man who kind of lunges at her and starts to hit her with a, oh, look at this pretty girl. It ain't every day that I see a princess like you. Lost your way? And he kind of is like leaning up on you. He's sloshing his drink. How do you react?
I'm very like, yeah, no, can you just maybe take a couple steps back? Like, that's just a couple steps.
Okay, I'm going to have you roll a persuasion, but I'm going to have you roll with disadvantage because he's drunk. And being nice to drunk people, as we know, can be difficult.
True.
So you're going to roll twice and take the lower of the two.
Oh my God. The one time I got an 18.
What if you get a 19?
I got a 16.
That's really not bad.
16 plus your
She was a good ones. I know.
We are, this is the back plus my persuasion. Plus 2, so 18.
Okay. So he, you have firmly but kindly been like, okay, back up a little bit. And he kind of composes himself a little bit. And in this moment, he has that out-of-body experience you have when you're drunk, when you're like, oh, fuck, I'm too drunk. And so he apologizes profusely. He's like, I'm so sorry, and turns and kind of runs to the bathroom. So you've kind of avoided this, but you hear Rogar call from the back of the bar. He kind of yells, security, can we go in the bathroom, And he kind of calls you over and he's like, you need a drink after that, and kind of calls you up to the bar.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. Like, he was just, I go to him and thank him so much because that was too much. Like, I'm not used to that. People just acting like that. So thank you. I also don't know what to drink. I don't really drink. So can you help me find out what kind to get?
She's flirting. Your honor.
All right. Well, Are you trying to flirt or are you just talking?
I just generally don't know. I don't
just
drink, so like
genuinely don't
this is
know.
a whole new experience to me. Like,
He recognize obviously with your attire, how you look, he recognizes he's like, oof, she's out of place. So he's like, I got you. Do you like fruity drinks?
sure, yeah.
He makes you a drink where you don't even see that much liquor really go into it because it's just juices and things, and kind of pours you up this pretty little pink drink and kind of serves it to you. And in this moment, all four of you are actually like right next to each other, although not interacting. And now the bar area has kind of gotten a little bit more full. Is there anything that you all acknowledge, talking to each other, talking to other people?
How much did you pay for your drink?
I had a drink ticket. How much did you pay for your drink?
I got it for free.
How much did you pay for your drink?
Well, I know the guy here, so I also got mine for free.
Did you get your drink for free?
I did get my drink for free. There was just a really weird interaction when I got in here.
Why?
I think he was just so drunk and he just kept trying to push up on me. So security's really nice and helped me out and got me this one.
You look fierce, by the way.
Thank you. I really like the way you sparkle.
Wait, you were just on stage, weren't you?
I was on stage. Hi, everybody. My name is Bliss.
You killed it.
Yeah, you beat
Oh, thank you. Did you all perform or no? We know. What do you kind of do? You kind of just go to.
So my name's Pyra. I'm a tinkerer. I love to build and create, and that's like kind of my thing.
I have rats that do that, but you could probably do a better job, I think.
Yeah, like if they need any connections and like
Send someone.
inspire, I'll do that.
I'm very inspired by what you're doing right
I
now.
love that.
My name's Coralia.
Hi, Coralia.
And I don't really do much. I'm just like visiting, you know? I'm just like, I've heard
So your hair is like kind of just like billowing into our faces a little bit every now and then.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. It just kind of does that. Right. I can't control it.
It's a wig.
And then I take off my little strap and I put it into a ponytail. So it's on.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm Sylvera. I don't really get out much. It's actually my first time out and my first drink, so it's a really interesting experience for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The free drinks. Drinks.
Cheers to free drinks. As you all are kind of sitting there getting acquainted with each other, another figure starts to mosey on up to the bar. It's this person in a black and red cloak, and kind of makes eye contact with each of you as he kind of meanders on up. He's got this smoothness to him. He sits with a hood that he reveals to show a slight scar, very faint on the side of his face. He's an elvish man, and he is pretty hot. It's very like Balenciaga model, just like that, like hiddenness. That's a little scary, but a little hot.
This isn't the same guy from my inn, is it?
This is not. This is a different person. And because he has a black and red cloak, and it's not kind of like a shadowy vibe. It's like definitely a little showy of a cloak. He heads in and kind of in an overconfident tone, talks to Rogar and says, "Quite the collection of misfits." And then he looks at all of you all and kind of says, "You know, the usual, please, Rogar, if you still got the top shelf stuff hidden underneath." He kind of looks out at all of you and he recognizes that you all are not from around here. And he's like, "Oh, well, what brings all of you pretty faces here?" And there is a pause.
That's there's multiple slur.
I go, it sounded like you said misfits, but what I think you meant to say was Miss Bliss. Hi, I'm Bliss. I go to shake his hand.
He shakes her back and kind of smirks at you and everybody. And then Rogar from behind the bar says, "Kaylin, you know you should not be pushing notes." "You know you should not be pushing your luck in here. I know that the Lantern District is usually neutral ground, but the court's been sniffing around way more than usual." And Kaylin, in this kind of flamboyantly, kind of cocky way, raises his glass and swirls it around and says, "Neutral ground is just another way to say home." And takes a sip of it. He said, "Besides, I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm just looking for a little help with some odd jobs." And he kind of turns to all of you all. I'm going to have everybody make a DC 14 wisdom saving throw right now. So because he is going to try to charm.
So we're rolling which one?
Wisdom 20.
Saving throw square.
And then you add whatever your saving
I had a 0, but I got a 17.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Y'all are getting such good numbers.
Sorry, girl.
Oh, Lord have
Bitch.
mercy.
Bitch. What is
Add your
DC?
wisdom.
So
it's
yeah, so it's your wisdom.
12 minus 1, 11.
Mine is 11.
It's my wisdom?
Yeah.
So I'm just at 9.
17.
17.
I got a bad number. I got 2 plus 2, so I'm at 4.
She doesn't do much. So what the fuck? As he's kind of looking at all of you, it kind of charms the three of you to where you all are a little smitten. Again, he's really good looking. He's really hot, but Bliss is the only one that kind of clocks that he's just kind of riding on his looks right now, trying to charm us, but you can't really tell what. He's mentioned this, like, I need some help with odd jobs. But you know, he continues with the three of you charmed, so you're gonna feel more inclined to agree with what he's gonna say. Since I heard all of you might, have some business here or whatever, how long it is, but I need some help with some things, and I'm somebody who has access to a good network. So if you're looking for someone running from someone, I could be the guy. Do you want to ask him more questions? Do you want to brush him off? What's kind of your vibe with this dude?
I automatically jump at it because you said he's Elven, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, hey, I see him and I'm like, wait, like, he looks like me. He's hot, I'm hot, he's an elf, I'm an elf. Bitch, we go together. So I go up to him and say, hi, well, first of all, it's Sylvera, nice to meet you. Yeah, I actually am. I'm here to learn more about, elf lineage and stuff like that, and just about myself. So maybe you could help me out.
And he kind of sits back, again, cocky that he's charmed some of you. He's like, well, part of my network includes some people at the Syndicate, if you've ever heard of it. But yeah, I could definitely get you to meet some people and introduce you to some folks. He looks you up and down, clocking the noble robes, and he kind of gets a little shifty of, are you associated with the court?
Well, not me specifically, but my father, he helps with the trading among the courts and everything like that. Yes.
You can see him making a mental note about that. And he's like, yeah, I would love to show you around. And he kind of looks at the rest of you. Is there anything I could offer to get your support?
So I'm interested in him when he like talks about like he has all this information. I'm like not attracted to necessarily his looks. I'm like invested that he like knows people, right? And so I'm like, so you say you know people, like who who do you specifically know, or like who are your interests of like power that you can like give us like a little like name drop of like who you.
Who do you know here?
Who's the 3?
Maybe 5 brothers.
I'm gonna have you do a persuasion roll, but you're gonna roll with disadvantage because you're charmed.
Oh my god, girl. What?
Girl.
Man, you have to do a disadvantage, girl. Now you have to you have to do it.
So you do, girl.
Come on. You have to do it again and take the bottom of the level. What if you just set that up? What if you get another 20? 15.
So he in this moment is definitely intrigued by the fact that you are pressing on to, well, who do you actually know? And he starts to name drop a few names that you've never heard of. Like, so he's like, oh, Malus, and none, you don't recognize it. And then he kind of clocks that y'all don't recognize. And he's like, well, I'll just introduce you. We could go back to, he's a little closer to my place and I'll show you around.
I like turn to the side really quick and I look at the girls and then I flip my flowing hair and I hit them in the face because I was like, don't get close to me. That's crazy.
Okay, so he gets a signal. He takes a bit of a step back. And as he's taking a bit of a step back, still trying to convince you all, you see another person enter this bar. It's a hot bar. And it is this tall, stoic human. He has gleaming muscles, blonde hair. He's a cutie, very much golden retriever energy. He walks up dressed in plain clothes, but his posture is super rigid. He's got these gray eyes and they're scanning the room and he sees all of you with Kaylin. I'm going to have you all roll for an perception check on him.
It's 15 plus 3 is 18.
I'm at 8.
I'm at 19.
18 plus 2. We're at 20.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You don't see anything other than his looks kind of thing. You're just looking and you see this man walk in. Bliss and Sylvera, you see that he has gold and white embellishments with a concealed badge on his belt, very much undercover cop energy. But it's only Pyra who recognizes that there is a phoenix crest in the middle of his badge on his belt. He makes his way up and approaches you all, and he immediately recognizes and is kind of talking only to Kaylin. And he says, I should have known I'd find you sulking here. Which Kaylin kind of turns around, so with his drink in his hand, and says, Orin Stormblade, always a pleasure. You know, you could just say you missed me. And there's this energy, there's this pause between them, to which Orin responds, miss you hardly. Yeah, I'm here to make sure that you're not dragging any other people into all of this mess. Kaylin chuckles and kind of looks back at him and makes this sly remark of, really? Well, I didn't see that you were complaining when I've dragged you into my mess other times. And you can tell that there's just this energy between them. There's a tension.
You painted DL traits.
I'm gonna have you, Pyra, roll for insight between them if you can pick up what's going on.
Okay, so we're going to roll for insight. It's like on the edge.
If it's cocked and you can't do, then like do it again. Honor the cocked. Honor the cocked.
Ooh, 10 minus 1.
Shit.
I don't know.
Okay, you again just feel these vibes. Does anybody else want to take any insight checks on this interaction going on?
I'll do it.
You've been rolling like shit.
I know.
I don't trust anything that's happening right now because I've not been charmed by this man. So more so I'm just on edge. I'm more on Mr. Oren's side. I'm kind of like, maybe you should get this guy out of here.
Yeah, I wasn't very invested. Let's see if I change my mind. Nope.
5 best.
Okay, y'all can't really tell the energy, but like you can tell there's some type of history between these two. So they continue to bicker back and forth. And as you all are just watching this kind of dialogue go back and forth, you suddenly hear a deafening explosion from the middle of the tavern. The back corner erupts in this fiery blast, setting splinters of wood everywhere, debris flying across the room. Patrons are screaming, diving for cover. I need you all to roll me a dexterity saving throw. They'd be injured from a fall.
I'm doing my tower for 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, bitch. I was dodging those splinters.
I'm at 50.
Dexterity
14.
9.
8.
Bliss.
Wait.
Me and Pyra.
Oh,
we're going down.
I'm at 22, bitch. I was.
So with this, Sylvera and Coralia do not get knocked over by the blast, whereas Bliss and Pyra both get knocked over by the blast or fall to the ground.
My boots.
Bliss is going to take 1d6 damage. You're going to take 5 points of damage.
Oh my god, I'm at 33.
But Pyra is going to take 2d6, so you're going to take 4 points of damage.
Oh my god.
In these final moments, Kaylin and Orin are both knocked down to the ground. They're bloody, but they're still alive. They scramble to their feet, each shouting over the chaos. They look at all four of you. Kaylin goes, don't waste your time with him. I can get you out of here. Follow me if you want answers. And Orin says, he's only going to lead you deeper into trouble. Come with me, and I'll protect you from their schemes. And that's where we're going to end our first ever episode of Queens of the Roundtable. Oh my God. Make sure to tune in next week to find out what the fuck just happened. And if you haven't already, make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Roundtable Drag on Instagram and check out our videos and follow all of us because we're your favorite local queens. On behalf of our entire cast, crew, all of our sponsors, my name is Dr. Zackarina Jenny-hoe. Good night and big balls. Thank you.
Y'all.